see if we can some more brightness here. Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, yo, welcome to. Oh my word, that hurt me. That hurt so bad. It's like I was just about to say today. Today is way better than yesterday because I went through way less. Um, just as I'm about to say that, here we are. Life will life. But still, we go on, which is what I wanted to share on this Word Wednesday. There's a lot of wisdom that has been left for us over the ages by many great thinkers, many great experiences, people with loads and loads of experience and experiences, drawing from people like Nietzsche, drawing from people like Aristotle, Socrates, Solomon from the Bible, the whole entire Bible. Tons and tons of wisdom has been left over for us as to how we should lead our life should we want or desire certain kinds of results. That's what this space is about. It's about drawing from ancient wisdom and drawing um, from it in such a way that it improves our lives. As the saying goes, there's nothing new under the sun, but if you don't know how to recognize it, well, then, how are you supposed to be warned about it? Right? So, this is us trying to educate ourselves on the wisdom that has been and possibly drawing from it in such a way that it is inspiring to us and it helps us to lead a life that is effective in many ways. I am going to be drawing today from an old book, a book we're all familiar with. Well, many of us are familiar with it to different degrees of familiarity. All right, I'm going to be drawing from the Bible today. I'm going to be drawing from a great man in the Bible today. His name is Solomon, known for many things. Um, the most amongst his reputation, the thing that stands out the most, would be his love for women and the number of wives that he kept. But apart from that, there's also his great and illustrious career as a king and the many or much wealth that he managed to garner up during his tenure. And with that, also his relationship with Bathsheba. Like, there's so much about him that we can know. But the thing that interests me about this character, and like, unlike some of the other characters in the Bible, is in the fact that this is a verifiable character. I use this word so much when speaking to, to the issue of so many of these Bible characters. These are um, historically verifiable. What do we call them? Historically verifiable characters, right? And as such, it is it makes what they said and what they did even all the more valid, for me at least. But let's draw from one of Solomon's greater writings in Ecclesiastics here, and I hope I pronounced it right. And it's the 11th chapter that we'll be reading from. This one is super inspirational for me, especially being the perfectionist that I am. This was good. It was good to read and see that there's been provision for it. I'm just going to go through it and read pretty quickly here. so that we can get to the meat and potatoes and then just have you out of here ASAP. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1 reads, ship your grain across the sea. After many days, you may receive a return. Invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. And then here's the part that for me starts to become interesting. If clouds are full of water, they pour rain on the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where it falls, there it will lie. Haven't had that much time to process and think through that. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Things are starting to become interesting. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. As you do not know the path of the wind, or how the body is formed in a mother's womb, so you cannot understand the works of God, the maker of all things. Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether it is this or that, or whether both will do equally well. There was one that said something along the lines of plant your seed in the morning and in the afternoon, like work it, right? Just work it in the afternoon. It's like sometimes we just need to put the potentiality into the ground and let it be what it will be, right? Once that tree starts to sprout, then you can start to correct it. If you're correcting a tree that you haven't planted yet, what exactly are you correcting? You don't have anything. Potentiality isn't actuality. The two are very different in the way that they exist. Potentiality might seem more exciting because it could be absolutely everything. And actuality might feel a lot more rigid because of exactly that. It's rigid. It is this and not that. But unfortunately, one of those things is actual and one of them is not. One of those things is tangible and the other one is not. Potentiality is not tangible. I could be a doctor, even at this point in my life. I could be a pilot. I could be absolutely everything, but I am not. I have the potentiality to be, but I am not. Why? Because I haven't planted that seed yet. And I haven't toiled my ground yet. Right? This was interesting to me because if you know me, I'm a complete perfectionist. If it isn't perfect from the start, I don't even want to do it at all. And that has been to my detriment. For the longest time, it's been to my detriment. I don't start certain things because I haven't figured it out yet. It's like I'm not going to plant the tree because I don't know yet whether summer is going to come. I don't know yet whether spring is going to or the summer actually is going to bring the summer rains. I don't know that. I don't know which day it's going to rain. So until I figure out which day it's going to rain, I'm not going to plant this seed. I'm killing myself. By the time it comes to the time of the rains and I haven't put my seed in the ground, nothing's going to grow. Nothing's going to benefit from that rain. So that's the word I wanted to share here today. Don't be so in love with potentiality. Don't be so in love with what things could be. Instead, choose a path and go on that way. Along the way, let me just have a sip, sorry. Along the way, what it should be will become more apparent because you have decided to give it a certain form and a certain shape. Another thing that on this specific point came across as super important to me is in the fact that by choosing one thing, you have to by default not choose the other thing. If I choose to become a doctor right now, I am by default choosing to, in this very moment, not become an engineer, not become a marketer, not become any other thing. Because I've made my choice. I can't do all of them at once. Many have tried. But in this very, very second that I am, if I'm choosing, sorry, focus here, to be one thing, I'm by default choosing not to be the other thing. If I'm choosing to put that seed in the ground, I'm by default choosing to make it a stump and eventually a tree. And it won't be a tree that might grow, a tree that might not grow. I have decided to make it go a certain way. And I guess that's the thing that's scary about making choices and becoming, right? And planting these seeds. As it says here, I really, really did enjoy this verse. Verse 6 did something for me. It says, sow your seed in the morning. Take it, put it in the ground, do the thing that you're supposed to do for it to start, and don't just leave it there and go. You go and you work on something, work on you. It's like, that's the thing that's interesting to me. The version that I read said, at afternoon, don't let your hands be idle, right? While you have your seed in the ground, you should be working on you. Get these to get to a point where they're skilled enough to handle that tree once it is growing, right? That's the wisdom that I had for us today. That's the word that I had for us today. Don't be so concerned with having the perfect tree whilst you don't even have a seed in the ground. You're never going to get a tree. As soon as you decide to put that seed in the ground, well then you've decided to grow a tree. And that specific sort of tree that you've decided. It's not going to be a banana tree if you planted an apple tree. But as long as you've decided that you're going to have an apple tree, at the end of however so many months, you're going to have an apple tree. Instead of possibly having an apple tree and a banana tree and a guava tree and all of that, because you've put your seed in the ground, you're going to have an apple tree. It's almost certain, right? But it also says in the beginning, don't just plant one tree. Plant a tree there, plant a tree here, plant a tree even further there, right? Because you don't know which of the trees is going to grow and be fruitful. And you don't even know which of the trees, or if both of the trees could be equally fruitful. So that's the word. It's the word we had here for you today. Drawing from ancient wisdom, and ancient wisdom that is ancient, far more ancient than the ages themselves. You get me? So yeah, just quick announcements, quick thoughts. The 29th of September is still a thing, and I'm still pushing towards people coming through. Come through. I would love to have you here. But meanwhile, while we're working towards the 29, I am inviting people into my home on the 28th of this month just to have a conversation and share some music and get a sense of who you are and you to get a sense of who we are as a team, and enjoy some hospitality, get some food, light food, and yeah, share some music, record it, and put it out there into the world just so everybody knows that there's cool people who exist that love music. Yeah, we are still doing Truthful Tuesdays, right? And we're still doing Mind Map Mondays. And today still is Word Wednesdays. Tomorrow is obviously going to be Throwback Thursday. Friday is going to be Fire Friday. And everything is going to continue in that order until changes need to be made. So if you're interested in more the wisdom and the word and the Bible and all these sorts of things and all the ancient wisdom that is there and the nature that is there to teach us, then Wednesdays are good for you. If you're interested in people telling their truth and in the truth, come join me on Tuesdays. We share candid conversations there and barely expose the parts of us that we don't want or are not so comfortable sharing. But because it is a freeing experience, we like to share the truth. On Mondays, we try to plan the week, try to plan our lives, try to think through strategies for planning and all of that. Just get a mind map through life is what we do on Mondays. And Thursdays, we reminisce a little bit, throw it back to when the good old days were still the good old days. On Friday, it's on fire out here. We share music, we share culture, we share pop culture. We just are on fire on Friday. So I'd love you to join us on there. We're still selling these beautiful shirts here. Let me just switch so that you can see it. Can you see it? I'm gonna stand up then so that you can see it. These beautiful shirts right here. They're still for sale. You can go on to our Instagram page. That's bear.people, and you can find this shirt specifically there and order yourself one. There's also going to be a link below this just to let you know that you can click on that, order it directly, and we'll have it to you in no time. In absolutely no time. Just in case, by some happenstance, you still haven't heard this song, right? Still haven't heard this song. Think about it. You should think about it. What are you doing with your life, my friend? Alright? Under Your Spell. It's still out on every platform. Give it a listen. Let me know what you think about it. I will appreciate it. So, yeah. This one has been Word Wednesdays. And I still have been Falwe Kanji, your host. And I still have been grateful for you having spent this time with me. And until the next one, adios. Adieu to God. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next one.